Hey there, Drop Team. This is LR Knight. I'm the creator of Feet First Into Hell, which is a sci-fi skirmish game that I've designed and am currently running a campaign for on Kickstarter. Although by the time that you watch this, it might just be available for pay what you want on DriveThruRPG. So I've gone through a couple videos over the last few days. One of them was on player actions. One of them was on player reactions, which is a very important system to the game. One of them was on the special actions, and the last one was on the drop zone mechanic and the drop scatter penalty. This one is going to be on my cover system, which is very simple, but it does require a little bit of integrity and maybe a little bit of good faith negotiation between you and your fellows. So what you're looking at right now is what I would call a foobar situation. I've got Leodrin and some of his lions and a horde of alien Xeno scum. Something has gone terribly wrong. I think their APC that Leodrin is standing on, the engine is probably blown out. And so now they are making a dramatic last stand, which we might call monument bait. So the Xenos are bearing down on them. At any moment, they're all going to open fire. I really hope that they don't have hive mind tactics, which is something that I plan to introduce very soon because it would be a total nightmare. And here's where I'm going to break this scenario down in terms of the cover mechanic. So the game is alternating activations, and you want to be very aware of who can see you and who has the opportunity or the eligibility to move and break your cover status. A unit has two different types of possible cover in the game. The first I'll go through is partial cover. And if this is sounding technical, I apologize. This is probably the most technical thing in the game, the cover. But my entire rule set exists on the front and back of a single sheet of paper. So this is actually what the print layout is going to look like. And you can see I was able to distill taking cover down to a single paragraph. So it says, if a unit is partly obscured, it has partial cover. Let's take a look at some of the units that are partly obscured here in this scenario. From these characters' perspectives, they can see this guy poking out around the edge. And same thing over here. These guys can see this guy poking out around the edge. They would have partial cover. Attacks against that unit automatically discard one successful hit. So I'm putting the emphasis and the onus on these are trained soldiers. They know what they're shooting at. So just because you're in cover, that doesn't confuse them and make it harder to hit you. It just means that their accurate shots hit the cover instead. So you only discard one successful hit when you are partly in cover. That makes it very, very important to think about your reactions and to think about where your sight lines might lie. Because this guy here, he is in complete cover, or what we call total cover from everybody else. In fact, he cannot even be targeted by any of these enemies. It's not even like I can roll, if I roll a 6 on a 6 on a 6, I can hit him. He is just considered an ineligible target because he has total cover. So those are the two cover statuses that you could have. The flip side is Leodrin. Any of their shots against Leodrin up there, up top, without his helmet, of course, right? Because we never go into battle with helmets. Leodrin without his helmet has no cover, and so nothing is discarded. However, if when he climbs on top of the APC, looks around and sees all of these Xenos scum bearing down on him, and they shoot at him, he might choose to try and take that dive reaction that we read about, or that we learned about in a previous game, and let's pick a cosmically less awful roll. He rolls a 6. If he dives back into cover, that look more cinematographic or whatever. If he dives back into cover, he is now totally obscured from them, and they can no longer target him, and any successful rolls made against him are discarded. The key to diving, though, is you have to do it as the enemy rolls before the hits are decided. So that's my cover system. You're either partly obscured and one successful dice roll is discarded, or you are total cover and attacks against you are ineligible from a unit that cannot see you at all. Just to be very clear, though, because this might come up, if this guy who's got some sort of cool looking fusion gun, if he moves his 6 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he can now see Leodrin, and that entire scenario has changed. Leodrin and this guy no longer have cover. This guy has partial cover, and this guy has partial cover. So the cover status is relative to the unit trying to attack you. If they move into better, more opportunistic position, they can attack you. That status is relative to just the 2 characters being measured. There's some games where it locks it down entirely, but I don't want to do that. I want you to think about your placement. I want you to think about your tactics. And I want you to really engage with your your gear and with your reactions. So this system might seem a little bit strange at first because other games have you just reduce dice rolls, but I've found that discarding a successful roll is really growth-inducing and really encourages smart unit placement. So that's it. That's cover. Again, one more time, I can read it because it's so short. If a unit is partly obscured, it has partial cover. Attacks against that unit are automatically discard the lowest successful hit. If a unit is fully obscured, it has total cover and is an invalid target. That's it. That's cover. Fast, simple, easy to understand are the key aspects of Feet First into Hell. It's highly customizable. It's easy to learn. It's a great place to introduce your friends to wargaming or a kid or students, although, the HE double hockey sticks might not be school friendly, if we're being totally honest. But that's okay, right? We can just call it Feet First. So that's it. If you're interested, the Kickstarter is running through February 25th. Otherwise, it'll be a pay what you want for the basic book on Drive-Thru RPG, which, yes, means you could pay $0 if you want. I'm not opposed to that. It's kind of a give back to the community. So I hope that you are interested enough to check it out, and I cannot wait to ship books out to people. I'm so pumped to be doing this and really, really jazzed that people are into the idea. And then, there's the Discord community that's going back and forth and coming up with cool stuff. So hopefully I'll see you there. Stay fierce.